What's up, buddy, man? It's Bronco, the Frog, coming at you with another reaction video. Polyglot Sport in the building. Go like up the original video, subscribe to that man, get him to 26,000 subscribers with the Club World Cup in full effect. I think the knockout stages start this weekend and the last group stages is today. I am still confused on how in the hell did they choose these teams to be the ones to participate. The champions of England and Liverpool are not here. The champions of Italy are not here. The champions of Spain and Barcelona is not here. What went into the selection process? How each club qualified for the Club World Cup? Mr. Polyglot Sport, can you explain it to us, man? Let's see what goes down.
32 teams are competing in the Club World Cup, but how did each team actually get a ticket there? For example, why is Salzburg there and not Barcelona? Why is Benfica but not Liverpool? In this video, we'll go through each continent, showing exactly how every club qualified. Starting with the continent with the fewest representatives, Oceania, which only has one team. Auckland City from New Zealand. Auckland City is wild.
And you know what's crazy? They call Auckland City a semi-pro team. So you telling me none of them professional teams over there in Australia, over there in Sydney and whatnot, didn't do enough to qualify for the Club World Cup? How in the hell did a semi-pro team was the one to, you feel me?
Auckland City is wild because these guys
are
a amateur team. Look at their stadium. But they got to the Club World Cup because they're Oceania amateur team. Look at their stadium.
What?
But they got to the Club World Cup because their Oceania rivals are even weaker. Since 2006, clubs from Australia no longer play for Oceania. So in the OFC Champions League, Auckland faced teams from the OFC Champions League. Auckland faced teams clubs from Australia no longer play for
Australia no longer plays for Oceania. I did not know that. So who the hell they play for? They be in the Asian Cup or something? Or are they in the AFC Federation? It has to be the AFC Federation. I know them boys ain't in the AFCON.
Oceania. So in the OFC Champions League, Auckland faced teams from the Pacific Islands, clubs from Tahiti, Fiji, etc. So Auckland literally dominated the tournament, winning the last 4 titles in a row. Now leaving Oceania, let's head to the continent where Australian clubs do play. Asia, which unlike Oceania has 4 teams in the World Cup. The first to qualify was the continent's biggest club, Al Hilal. Before Saudi football qualified was the continent's biggest club.
Yakiris. They jacking your celly. Let me find out you ain't come up with that. Why everybody jacking that man's celebration like that, man?
Al Hilal. Before Saudi football got flooded with stars, Al Hilal won the Asian Champions League in 2021, securing their spot in the Club World Cup. Then Asia's championship had a calendar change, jumping straight from 2021 to 2023, where Al Hilal almost won the title again, but lost the final to the next team on the list, Urawa Red Diamonds.
So whoever wins the Champions League within that 4-year window, that makes sense. Because the English club is Chelsea and City. Whoa. Because England only got, Europe. Europe is a whole continent. So we had Chelsea in there. We had City in there. And we got Real Madrid in there. They ended up winning. And then we got Paris Saint-Germain.
Japan, which also happens to be the Japanese club with the most continental titles. Then to earn a direct spot as continental champions, there was one more spot, which ended up going to a team from the Emirates, Al Ain. In 2024, they advanced in the Asian Champions League, knocking out Ronaldo's Al Nassr, Al Hilal, and Yokohama Marinos in the final. So 3 Asian teams were already confirmed, but one spot was still open. So what did the Asian Confederation do? Create a ranking. They took the last seasons of the Asian Champions League to make a table of the best performing teams that hadn't won the title. And that's how the last Asian spot was filled by Ulsan from South Korea.
And them boys, they were Asian champions. Ulsan the boys with the wild ass fans, with the flares and stuff that they had to pause the game for in Germany? Nah, I think it was a red club.
From South Korea. They were Asian champions in 2020, before the qualification period started. But not only that, they also reached the semi-finals in 2021 and 2024, earning their spot on merit.
Shout out Ulsan. Yeah, that was not. The Red Diamonds was the ones.
Earning their
The Red Diamonds are the ones with the crazy ass fans. My bad.
But from all clubs, Ulsan has the second lowest market value. Their entire squad is worth just 15 million euros, only ahead of Auckland City.
Where are they in the
Now
standings?
let's leave Asia, heading to another continent with 4
Hold on,
representatives.
let me look up the standings for all Oceania. Oceania, yeah, they last. Goal differential -3, goals for. At least they scored something. This group is still wide open, but yeah, they eliminated. They have no chance to make it to the knockouts. Feels bad. The Aura Reds, even though them boys got crazy fans, them boys is sitting on 0 points. Nothing but L's, and they are already eliminated. The Asian club. Oh! No goals. 11 goals on their head. -11 goal differential. Yeah, the Asian clubs is getting their ass whooped. Shout out all Hilal. They're the only boys who really got a chance, bro.
Africa. And the first African team to qualify was one that couldn't miss this Club World Cup. Al Ahly. They are simply the biggest club on the continent in terms of titles and support. To give you an idea, they have 40 million fans.
Bro, and they travel.
Similar to the size of the population of Canada. And their spot was secured when they won the African Champions League in 2021, defeating Kaiser Chiefs 3-0. They are so dominant that in the following year, they reached the final again. In 2022, they were about to win the title another time, but against Morocco's Wydad, they lost. The Moroccans claimed the trophy, so 2 spots were set. The next 2, of course, would go to the Continental Champions of 2023 and 2024. But then Al Ahly won both titles. So what now? Well, you know that ranking they did in Asia. The same thing was done in Africa. They took the previous 4 seasons to make a ranking of the best teams overall. And that's how the spot went to a team that reached the semifinals twice and the final in 2024.
Makes sense.
Esperance from Tunisia, a team that's 4-time African champion. But there was
I seen they kids. Them Tunisian boys kids. Them hoes be pretty loud. They got their little polo shirt. I ain't seen how they been performing.
African champion. But there was still 1 spot left. So they also picked the best second team from their ranking. Mamelodi Sundowns. It's like Brazil in the World Cup. Their kit has the exact same colors as the Brazilian national team.
South African?
Over the last 4 years, they've been consistent. Quarterfinals in 2021, 2022, and semifinals in 2023 and 2024, earning their spot in the Club World Cup. Now leaving Africa, let's go to the continent with the most representatives. Europe. Out of the 32 clubs, 12 are European. And just like in the other continents, the Champions League winners got a direct spot. So the first team to secure their spot was Chelsea, who won the title in 2021 after a surprising underdog campaign.
I mean, it's like, bro, I feel it. Like, the selection is every 4 years, and 4 years ago, Chelsea was the ones to win it, but that was so long ago. It is only one person who is still on that team, and that is Reece James, right?
21 after a surprising underdog campaign, defeating Atletico Madrid,
that was so long
Real
ago.
Madrid,
4 years is
and in
a long
the final,
time.
Man City. Then in the following year, Chelsea went all in again, but they were stopped in the quarterfinals by the eventual champions Real Madrid with an absolute crazy campaign, defeating PSG, Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. Football's biggest international champion got their spot. Now, if City were eliminated by Madrid, in the next season they didn't live up. They crushed Leipzig, beat Bayern 4-1 on aggregate, thrashed Real Madrid to get their revenge, and in the final against Inter Milan, a goal from Rodri was enough to seal the victory. City proved that they were the best team in all of Europe, winning their spot in the victory. City proved that they were the best team in all of Europe, winning their spot in the Club World Cup. So the next club to get a ticket to the US was gonna be the 2024 Champions League winner. But Real Madrid won again. And no, they didn't invite the runners-up Borussia Dortmund.
Oh,
so there were still 9 years.
If they would have invited BVB, that for sure would have been under-deserved. Shout out to them for making the final.
So there were still 9 European spots left. But before we see how those 9 spots were filled out, let's quickly leave Europe to go to the continent with the second most
so these were the given for Europe.
Let's quickly leave
So I'm going to
Europe.
assume that the Europeans, they did the same thing, the system that these people did. Or maybe league titles. In some league, maybe heavier weight, it got to be league titles. But then again, for the Premier League, City won the goddamn. Then again, it's only 2 Premier League teams in the Club World Cup. So it makes sense. I was going to say, City won the damn Premier League like damn near every year for the past 4 years. Aside from last year when Poole just won it. Spain. The other Spain club is Atleti. So, I wonder, Atleti, have they been performing better than Lona had the past 4 years? You know, Lona just now being put back on the map. Damn, is it really 12 UEFA teams? Let's see.
There's still 9 European spots left. But before we see how those 9 spots were filled out, let's quickly leave Europe to go to the continent with the second most teams in the tournament. South America. South America didn't get 4, but 6 spots. So the first South American team to secure their spot in the Club World Cup was Palmeiras, who won the 2021 Libertadores over Flamengo. Then after Flamengo lost in 2021, they went all in to redeem themselves, winning every match at the Libertadores knockout stage to win the title and get a ticket. Brazil was dominating, but it continued.
Undefeated.
In 2023, Marcelo's Fluminense won the title, and in 2024,
every time I see Marcelo and Fluminense in these colors, I just think of when he broke dude's leg, bro. That was like one of the most brutal leg breaks I done seen.
And in 2024, another Brazilian club, Botafogo, secured the trophy. With 4 consecutive titles, Brazil got 4 direct spots in the World Cup, setting the record as the country with the most representatives. But there were still 2 spots left for South America.
Wow, it is! Look at everybody else. It's only 2 English clubs. It's gonna be only 2 Spanish clubs, I believe, yeah. Everybody else is from a different continent, or country, I mean. Them Brazilian boys, got 4.
So what did they do? A ranking as well. They took the last 4 Libertadores seasons to see which teams had the best consistency. As expected, Flamengo and Palmeiras were leading the ranking, but behind them was Atlético Mineiro, the team that reached the final in 2024. But unfortunately for them, since there already were 4 Brazilian teams qualified, no more Brazilians could be added.
Ah, there go Hulk, big Hulk, oh that's you! That is you.
No more Brazilians could
I was just finna say, I don't remember hearing about the Atletico club or seeing them play.
Added. So the spot went to the team below them.
River Plate.
Didn't win the Libertadores, but over the last 4 seasons, they had 1 quarterfinals, 2
so
round of 16
Brazilian clubs really be whooping up them Argentinian clubs like that?
Now there was 1 more spot to be decided, and the next team in the ranking was Fluminense. But well, they were already qualified. So the spot went to the
Boca
next
Juniors,
team, Argentina's Boca.
Damn, the Argentinian clubs only made it by default. I thought Argentina overall had the better clubs then. I don't know why I thought that, because usually when I hear about rivalries, the main 2 clubs or the main 2 South American clubs that I hear about is Boca Juniors and River Plate, you know?
The 2023 finalists are also the second most successful club on the continent, having 6 Libertadores titles.
Oh, there
so
it is right there.
How
Boca
the other
Juniors,
Europeans got their spots, let's head to the continent where everything is happening. North America.
The CONCACAF.
The first team to secure a spot there was the 2021 North America champion, Monterrey. Monterrey isn't the biggest champion in Mexico, but that year they won their 5th continental title. With Monterrey, the title went to a Mexican club for the 16th time in a row.
God damn, yeah, Mexico. I'll go ahead, bro. Go ahead and Mexico got that locked down. But you know, it's a lot of rules that hold back American clubs. I don't know if Mexican clubs have cap rules or whatnot, but I know clubs in the Major League Soccer, they are definitely tied down by cap space and cap rules and DP rules and this and that to keep parity. But we over here getting our ass whooped in these CONCACAF Champions League, man, by these Mexican clubs.
The CONCACAF Championship was literally dominated. So everyone expected the next spot to go to another Mexican club. But this time, a team from another country ended that. After eliminating Mexico's Leon and New York City, this team reached the continental final. Seattle Sounders to face Mexico's Pumas. A Mexican team could still win, but after a draw in the first leg, in the second leg at Lumen Field, Seattle Sounders smashed them 3-0, winning the Continental Championship for the first time and securing their spot in the Club World Cup. So the other team from the United States gained confidence. So much so that in the following year, 2023, another US team made it to the final. Los Angeles FC.
Oh yeah, them boys, that was when they had Garrett Bale, right?
It ended 3-1 to Leon, who got the spot for the Club World Cup. But Leon's celebrations wouldn't last long. Now 1 more spot for CONCACAF was left to be decided. So in 2024, 2 teams came to compete for it. Pachuca versus Columbus Crew. But again, the Mexicans left no chance. 3-0. Now the CONCACAF qualifiers were set. But there was still 1 spot left. Since the World Cup is taking place in the United States, they needed a team to represent the host country, even though Seattle Sounders was already there. So in FIFA's tournaments, they always invite the national champion of the host country, so the 2024 MLS season would be decisive. And Inter Miami with Messi, Suarez, and Busquets made history. In 34 games, they
they did not win the championship, Polyglot. They did not win the championship. LA Galaxy won the championship. Yes, it is more entertaining. Shout out Inter Miami. I understand it from a business standpoint. You know, Messi them gonna rise up, but LA Galaxy has had a historical start bad to the season of the MLS, so they would have got that ad whoop. Shout out Inter Miami, like I said, for making it to the knockouts, but they did not win the league.
And Inter Miami with Messi, Suarez, and Busquets made history. In 34 games, they secured 22 wins, reaching 74 points. So FIFA invited them to the Club World Cup.
Bunch of info
but in the United States, the tournament is not a simple round-robin format. That's just the first part of the tournament. After that, the top teams go into a playoff, which Inter Miami lost. The official 2024 champion, who went all the way to the final to win the title, was LA Galaxy. So a lot of people complained. Even so, the spots were set. But then a big problem came up. The Club World Cup has a rule that two teams with the same owner can compete. And the thing is, Pachuca and Leon are owned by the same guy.
Oh yeah, then Pachuca got kicked out, or one of them got kicked out for LAFC. Feels so bad. That owner rule is so dumb. I still don't get it. I've seen somebody say that they clubs play together, it could be a lot of collusion or something going on. But I say, bro, I highly doubt that.
Have to do? Literally exclude one of the two from the competition,
that's fucked up.
which ended up being Leon, opening a new spot. So since Leon was the 2023 champion, FIFA went back to that tournament and picked two teams that went well to play for a direct spot. Mexico's Club America.
See, all of this now, when it comes to all of this, that don't really make sense. Like, when it comes to that, you gotta go with recency bias now. You can't go back 2 years in the past to be like, even though that's a whole different team, it may not be a whole different team, but even though that's a different team, we finna go back in time and see who's the better different team than a different team? Hell no, you gotta go to current day and see who's performing best now and invite them.
Yeah, LAFC could get a chance to go to the tournament, but they'd have to get past the giant America, who didn't make it easy. After a goal from America, LA equalized in the 89th minute, and in extra time, they scored the winning goal. By 2-1, LAFC secured their spot. Now we've seen how 23 clubs got their spots, but we're missing 9 from Europe. If they weren't continental champions, how did they end up there? Throughout this video, we've seen their ranking of the best teams, and for UEFA, it was no different. They took the 4 seasons from 2020-21 to 2023-24 to create a ranking of the best teams. So as expected, the leaders were Man City and Real Madrid, who were already qualified. But the third club in this ranking was a team that hadn't won the title, Bayern Munich. Bayern reached the quarterfinals 3 years in a row in the semifinals in 2024. So
one thing I like about this selection process is it definitely rewards you. Even though you don't win a Champions League necessarily, you still get rewarded for making a deep run. So once people start taking the Club World Cup more and more serious, you can look at a semifinal exit and be like, well, at least we got some good qualification points for the Club World Cup. Ooh. It's hard, ain't it? I know that's hard.
So with a super solid campaign, they earned their spot. Then right below Bayern was PSG. The Champions League title they won didn't count for this Club World Cup, but for the next one. Even so, they had a good consistency. 2 round of 16 appearances and 2 semi-finals, giving Paris their spot. Then the next team below Paris was Chelsea, but they were already qualified. So the next to qualify for the ranking was Borussia Dortmund, becoming the second German team to secure their spot. And the next team was also one that didn't win the title but reached the final, Inter Milan. But now there's a catch, because the next team in the ranking was Liverpool, who also reached the final in 2022. So in theory, they would have earned a spot too. But there's a problem. There was a rule that if a country already had 2 teams, a third couldn't qualify for the ranking. England already had 2 teams, Chelsea and City. So Liverpool could only qualify if they were Champions League winners. But it wasn't just Liverpool who got left out because of this rule. So the Reds were skipped, so their spot went to the next club, Porto from Portugal, followed by Atletico Madrid, 2 teams that always compete in the Champions League, and in recent years have also reached the quarterfinals. Then after Atletico, the next club in the ranking was Leipzig. But since Bayern and Dortmund were already qualified, they also couldn't go. Then after Leipzig, the next in line was FC Barcelona. But since Madrid and Atletico were already in, they too had the bad luck of being left out. So the spot went to the next team, Benfica, who reached 2 consecutive quarterfinals.
I ain't gonna lie, I like the selection
far,
process.
Only one Italian team was qualified, so there was room for another. Going to the next in the ranking, Juventus. Now, after 31 teams, there was only one spot left, but it couldn't be an Italian team. So the next in line, Napoli, was ruled out. Then Sevilla from Spain and Milan were also ruled out.
So who squeezed in?
The next spot had to go to a team from Austria. RB Salzburg.
Salzburg squeezed in right there.
18th place.
I seen a lot of people saying, like, how in the hell did Salzburg get it? Well, he said it at the beginning. How is Salzburg there? Let me see they standing. How is Salzburg there but not Liverpool? But I guess the selection process does make sense. Oh, they in position to make to the knockout stages. Shout out them Austrians. Salzburg is right here at 2, but they got a game. Who they play? They play Real Madrid. Salzburg, how bad you want it? Y'all still can make it if Al Hilal and Pachuca draw each other. Al Hilal can make it in with a win. Well, they got their faith in their own destiny, but this Group H is gonna be real interesting.
In those 4 Champions League seasons, they advanced past the group stage just once. But Austria had no representatives, so they ended up getting in. Well, that's lucky.
I bet you once they say, hey, Salzburg, y'all in, I bet you that was like, You talking about me?
What did you think of this video? If you enjoyed it, I think you're gonna like this one too.
Hey, W Video, Potty Glass Sport.
Bye.
Go check out his channel. Go check out their channel, man. Subscribe to him. Get him to 30,000 subscribers. W Videos, great videos. Like I said, man, try to get that man to 100K. Definitely informed your boy Bronco on Truly. I was definitely confused. He definitely informed me on how each club qualified to the Club World Cup, bro. Hey, shout out to them. I'll catch y'all boys. I'm out.